And welcome back to another episode of the Sweet Shots Podcast. Lucas Johnson alongside Mark Johnson and Chuck Johnson. Back for another episode 16. We're creeping up kind of the home stretch for the season, hole 16. I would say this is probably a long par 4 here today, gentlemen, without a guest. No star guest scheduled as of yet.
Don't say that.
We might have a pop-in.
There's a strong possibility we're going to have a pop-in guest that is quite versed in sports gambling.
I
don't want to, I'm not setting him up like he's got a problem.
No.
He doesn't have a
That's
problem.
not what we're here
No,
to
he's
do.
like us.
We're
He
not-
just enjoys doing it.
Yep. For the sport
Casually.
of it. Yes.
Yep. And we have a history going back playing sports against one another for
So this will be
years and
good.
years and years.
This will be good.
Okay.
But he's going to join us in the latter part of the show.
Okay, so this par
Do we
4
wanna-
just got a little shorter here. Might be a mid-iron into this green, but
Yeah.
it should be good.
Yep.
Should be good. But, getting right into it, I think the biggest story coming out of last week is Jon Rahm wins again. And I say again because he's won 4 of his last 5 worldwide starts, DP Tour and PGA Tour.
He's playing pretty well right now.
I would say
Tough to
so.
beat.
Well, he's got to. He gave up all that live money, so he's got to earn it with his play.
I think he's doing just fine.
And that was one of his statements when he said, "Hey, I'm not going to do the live." He goes, "My lifestyle, we like our lifestyle. He and his wife started a family.
Yep.
More money isn't going to do
Right.
anything for me in my
I
lifestyle."
appreciate that. I love that.
That was
Yeah.
really interesting, refreshing comment, right? This day and age.
Yep.
I'd say he's grown on me a lot since his rookie year on tour, his first couple of years. I remember just despising the guy.
Well, he
because
was kind of a hothead.
He was
out
a
there.
huge hothead.
Yeah.
He was throwing clubs and yelling and screaming.
Yeah.
Him and Tyrrell Hatton are just buddy out there having a club throwing
Sergio.
contest.
I thought it's more the Latin. It's more the Spanish. That's how.
Hot tempered, or what are you
Yeah,
saying?
they play with the passion that other
Back
guys.
to
from
Sevi.
other-
Sevi used to be that
Exactly. I was going to say it goes back to Sevi.
way. Yeah.
Olazabal, he was maybe a little more reserved. He didn't wear his emotions on his sleeve, but you could tell he had that inner drive that he'd learned from Sevi.
Yep.
Who's another and then Sergio.
Sergio, yeah.
Sergio could drive you nuts at times.
Oh, yeah.
But you loved him too. And then Rahm, now you're right, LJ. It's like when he first came out of college, it's just big chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
And then not only does he complain, but it's borderline like whining.
Right.
Like-
Yeah, that was my big thing. I thought he just whined all the time. And then, he had the Spanish passion. And
Mm-hmm.
I think he threw a couple clubs, maybe broke a couple, but neither here nor
He's
there.
matured.
But yeah, he has
Yep.
very much matured and actually turned into one of my favorite golfers just because it's fun to watch.
Yep.
His swing alone is just very unique. It looks like a 3/4 swing, and he's got faster ball speeds than probably all 3 of us combined right now. It's just it's insane what he's able to do with a golf ball. You talk about a true professional. That guy gets it. He's good.
Can we go back and review the insult that he just threw our way, Chuck?
I missed it. What did he say?
Ball speed.
Yeah.
His ball speed is faster than the 3 of us combined.
Oh, geez.
Well,
I know mine.
LJ has some pretty serious
Yeah, I know
ball
he
speed.
does. So he's really knocking us.
He's like what you and I cumulative. We've got 40 mile per hour ball speed.
Apparently.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for nothing on that
Well,
comment.
less than that, but yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's fine.
Thanks.
That's fine.
Well, and the scary thing, not to jump ahead to this week's event, but he's going to a place that he absolutely loves.
Loves it.
Torrey, and I think,
Loves
if I
it.
remember right, and that where he even proposed to his now wife, and he loves that course. So
Got a
it could be
huge connection
scary
there.
again, what he might do this week.
Yeah, it's. I think I saw too, and again, not to jump too far ahead, but I think he's $11,600 in DFS this week, which I think makes him the most expensive
This year.
DFS player this year.
That's correct.
right?
Yep. Which he's got to be when you look at the wins and what
Right.
he's done. That might not even be high enough when you look at separation versus the rest of the talents. And there's still some solid players in there, but yeah, he's got to go into this I would imagine you look at Vegas odds, maybe 3-1, 4-1, which is.
I think I saw 4-1.
Yeah. Yep.
So with his track record there, it's all adding up. His trending, everything.
Yep.
His history. Yeah.
So are we going to look at total scores from last week then, boys, to see who's running away with this goat? I don't even know how you guys did.
No, I got my goat right in front of me.
Yeah, because you're the previous.
Yep, I'm the reigning goat of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well, then you start.
I don't think he's going to stay here.
Uh-oh.
Long story short, I had 3 guys miss the cut. So all my bottom guys, actually, the guys that I needed to make the cut, all missed the cut.
Uh-oh.
Callum Tarrant, he had a glimpse. Round 2, he shot 67. Same with Taylor Pendrith.
That surprised me. I thought Taylor would be right there. I thought he'd make cut. He's been making cuts.
He's
I don't even know who that is.
He's a Canadian.
Yep.
Well,
He's a Maple Leaf.
Yep.
But yeah, those 3 guys missed the cut for a grand total of 474 points.
Yep, that's not going to get it done,
474.5.
LJ.
I'm not going to get it
So
done.
I'm under the impression that we switched this week and we were going back to our worst ball competition.
You
So,
gave it a good.
I gave it
try.
a good run there.
Uh-huh.
Going for the worst ball there.
All right.
Do you want me to go?
It doesn't matter.
We
Sure.
don't know.
I have no idea.
We have no idea. I'll go next.
Yeah.
And I had 5 out of 6 players make the cut.
Uh-oh.
Which really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
goat could be coming
Goat
this
might
way.
be moving your way.
And if you recall my method, I just picked like cut makers.
Yep.
I just went close to, if
you
the
needed the
average is
guy.
going to be 70 or 8,200 on your values, I just went, all right, I'm just going to find all these guys right around that 8,200. So in the workhorse, the highest guy with Brian Harmon, he missed the cut.
Yes.
I think he was right on the number. I mean, how would you like to play? What was he? He was 8 under par and he missed the cut. You're 8 under par.
Well,
Yep.
that tournament is just a huge
Ridiculous.
history of
Yep.
nutty low scores. And I think those to me are just crapshoots. I mean, when you get
Right.
into a
Birdie fest
we talked about it. It's a putting contest.
Sounds like you're making an
Tom,
excuse.
I 100% am right now. I'll pull up this photo of where I finished in these last. I mean, I was like 3rd to last or something like that. I mean, look at that.
All right.
shot.
Yeah, no, yeah.
That's
Yep.
impressive.
I
really
need
bad.
I need all the excuses
Wow.
I can get.
Yeah, that is. I've been there. Okay, so my team. You know
Yep.
what? I rode Thigala.
Yeah.
Solid. He made the cut. Hoagie
Mhm.
finished with the 66.
T32.
Yeah,
Tied for
He had a
32nd.
good last day.
Um,
That's still 100% if you come on the show
Yep.
as a PGA Tour to make a cut.
Went with Hadwin because he's a birdie guy, and
Canadian.
he
Solid.
T18 minus 20. I took a little flyer than my last 2 guys. Ricky Fowler made
I
the
like it.
cut.
I know.
Yep.
And
Playing
he
solid.
didn't play well the last. He shot 71 that
Well, he
last.
had
did
a
he?
couple doubles and a triple in there, which
Okay.
I think that's kind of his calling card. He's gonna have a couple blow up holes. You just don't know when.
He looked good. I still like the attire. On the course, he's a sharp
Is he
dresser.
still wearing Puma?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Sharp.
Flat rim, flat bill.
No, he
No,
moved away from
He's
that.
got a little curvature.
Well,
He's a little more subtle now. He doesn't
Yep.
go all one color.
He was sporting the shades on Saturday
He's a
when
big
I watched
shade
him.
guy
Shade
now.
guy.
Rays.
I like the look.
And then my final guy, Burmeister.
Burmeister.
And he shot 72 the last day, and he finished. He was at minus 13. So again, I just went with guys that
Mhm.
made the cut. Now, unfortunately, in the game that we chose, I think I still missed money. I had 538 points.
538.
538.
Oh, son. Okay. 538.
That's what I said.
Okay.
538.
All right, Chuck.
Well, I had 2 miscuts. KH Lee, he was right there. He
Was
actually
on
was
the
on the
number?
cut. He was on the number. And then David Lipsky. Ugh.
That was
He-
kind of
He didn't even show up.
he was coming off a hot week the
He
week
was.
before.
I don't know. He should have just left the bag in the car. It was terrible showing. But then Tom Kim, if you guys watched the weekend,
Bounce back.
he is
Yeah.
solid. He
Yeah.
tied T6 this week
Yeah.
quietly. I had Hoagie as well. Putnam, T36. And then Thomas Dietrich. This guy, if you look at his history this fall, he hasn't had a miscut since last summer, and he's just been steady, playing all over the world too. I had
Yeah, I
549 with 2 miscuts.
Ooh, boy.
So I gotcha.
double check that
Bring that
score
goat.
mark. It still hasn't
Bring
changed.
the goat. 2 missed cuts over here. This
That's
comes
There
back
you
to
go.
its rightful owner, my friends.
that's impressive.
Seems a little
two
random.
missed cuts.
2 missed cuts. Yeah, on the number. So good try, Mark. You were right there. You almost had the goat.
He was feeling pretty good.
He was. He thought for sure he had
For
it.
a little bit, I thought going in here today, I thought I finished third because my guys. Although I had cut makers, they didn't make a lot of points. I didn't have any high finishers. So there you go, Chuck. You're Tom Kim by launching up the top 10 finish. He's making you a lot of points.
Yep.
And I'm happy for you. So
None of us had the winner in John Rahm, and we spoke to it in the show where it was like, this he's going to be up there, but do you spend the money? Because again, he was the most expensive
That's right.
guy.
I did some one days where I had him on my team.
Did you?
Mhm.
Yep, I did. I went the one day at
Nicholas.
No, I did
La
the
Quinta?
one day La Quinta because
Yes.
historically that plays the easiest golf course.
Yes.
So there's our
me
theory:
too.
play the easy golf course on a multi-course deal, and it did not play out.
I think
every one of my guys, 6 guys playing La Quinta, and I didn't
did
win
too.
money.
And then on Sunday's broadcast, they said historically that is the easiest of the courses, but this particular year, Nicholas was playing. The Nicholas course was stroke average lower. I'm like, what? Because I did the same thing. I loaded on La Quinta. So I don't know.
Didn't work out.
Didn't work out.
And that'll be interesting because I think down the line we're talking probably looking at some dailies this week because we're recording on Tuesday, and with the next tournament, the Farmers Insurance starts on a Wednesday.
Very rare.
Very
it's a
rare.
Wednesday start to
But-
avoid the Sunday NFL games.
The championship.
So they'll be done Saturday.
So probably smart on their part to get some eyeballs on it. But so when this comes out, it will have already started. So we're looking at some dailies. But before we get into that, talking some golf news. Interesting signing this weekend. Colin Morikawa and Adam Scott. Have you guys heard of this? The TGL? I think it's TGL League, but I think the L stands for the league. So it's basically an indoor golf league with the professionals. Have you guys heard about this?
Just high level. So it's like virtual golf type deal?
Yep.
Like, okay.
Yeah, they're playing
Sims?
basically on a sim.
Yeah.
The mock-up of what they were looking to do looks, it's a giant simulator. And then there's like a indoor short game facility that if I had to take a guess, instead of doing short game on the simulator, they're going to find a comparable shot. It's what we all dream of doing when we play indoor sims, and they're going to be able to do it. It's an interesting concept. To me, it's a pretty bold step forward in golf entertainment. So, had you heard about this, Mark?
I've heard about it, but I didn't give it enough attention to research it. So, will they have a bay host bringing them beers and things like that?
And apps.
How
Some
serious?
nachos.
Yeah, I don't know how serious this is going to be. They're going to get 6 teams of 3, so they're going to have 18 guys.
6 teams. Okay.
And
this
they're
is
all pros. And I think right now they've got a lineup with Tiger and Rory, obviously, because it's their brand. JT, John Rahm, now Colin Morikawa, Adam Scott, and I think they got a couple down the pipe that they're looking at getting.
Actually, it might be good TV.
Yeah. It could be
Because they're going
entertaining.
to be pretty loose. They're going to interact with one another.
Do you know what product they're using for? Is it
If I had
with
to
any
take
luck
a guess,
full swing?
if I had to take a guess, it would be full swing because that's Tiger's locked in with those guys.
I like as operators and owners of the facility that has that. I like the sound of that. Bring a
Yeah.
visibility to others that's a product that's
It
pretty
is
impressive.
It is a great product, I think, for the quality of the data that you're given, because they do a nice job of giving you data, plus the quality of the graphics and everything. I think it's a really, really good product. And Dave Booth and I have worked extensively with it.
Yeah.
To try and make those the best they can be, and they definitely have the potential. So I'm interested to see what they go with there. It is a Monday night. They're Monday night matchups, Monday night golf. is
Love
where
it.
they're going. So
I like Mark's here. You got to have a bay host, bringing them beverages, nachos. But you guys are out on me. You guys can't be drinking. Anti-fun. So they'd be drinking pops.
I don't know how. My worry is that it's going to be like the match that they've got going on right now.
A lot
Like-
of chirping.
Like forced chirping. just these guys are caught between taking it super serious and not, that's my fear with it. I'm interested to see where it goes. I think simulators have kind of gotten a bad rep, whether it's glitches. I want to know if they're going to deal with glitches.
Oh, they'll edit that out.
Yeah.
Handing mulligans out left and right. I think it has to be at face value entertainment. I mean, can you legitimately... yes, you can have a competition out there, especially if they're going to pivot and do some short game stuff. But if I'm going to watch a sim event, I'm watching this for the entertainment. I'm watching it for the banter. I think it's going to lend itself to probably more easier banter than a green grass event where it's
spread out
forced
a little bit.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I'll tune in. I'll give it a chance.
I would too.
So when you guys were growing up, so was it Shell's
Wonderful World of Golf?
So
Gene Sarazen would host the early ones.
And
I just watched
that
one
was
the
like
other night.
A skins game kind of deal, right?
No, it was a head-to-head stroke play event, which I don't know why they did head-to-head stroke play, because you had Gene Littler versus Byron Nelson, and Byron Nelson was leading by 6 shots after 5 holes. It's like, well, do I really? Maybe a match play format would have been better, but this was back in the 60s, 70s.
Do you remember that?
Great. No, I've watched some of the replays.
I watched
the fun of the group here. So.
Well, Gene Littler at the 83 Senior Open at Hazeltine that our dad took me to, I watched Gene Littler because he had the smoothest swing in golf, even as a senior player. And it was fantastic. And I'll never forget, we were like on 6 watching Gene Littler, and somebody said, oh, well, Arnold Palmer is up on 8. So I'm like, Arnie, I want to watch Arnie. So by the time I got there, he was walking up 9 fairway, and I watched him play hole 10, and then 11's a par 5, dog leg right.
Oh yeah.
And actually, he blew his tee shot way right on 10, and then he blew his tee shot way right on 11. And I went, I don't need to see this. No respect for Arnold Palmer at all. Yeah. I feel so bad now.
This guy's terrible.
How did I not walk that whole back 9 with Arnie? But he hit 2, but back in the day, 83, they were hitting woodwoods and a lot of balls. So it didn't take much, and that ball was curving.
Yeah.
So, but the Shell's Wonderful World of Golf was, and the graphics, you look back now, and it was basically hand-drawn sketches of the hole. Oh, and then they would put where each ball went. Well, he hit that one. Gene Sarazen would say, Byron really hit that one. He's out there 245.
Wow.
You really caught it on the screws. Is that right?
That's right. That's the saying. So, yeah, there's some great episodes.
So basically, like the point I was getting at is that this is kind of an attempt to make golf entertainment exhibition matches aside from the main PGA Tour, right? I mean,
sure.
That'd be the idea of it anyway. Interesting. I don't have like a release date. I don't know when they're looking. I think it's next year, but could be very interesting.
Yep,
we'll see.
Stay tuned.
When Tiger and Rory behind it, you never know. A lot of power behind that. But I guess moving along quickly. But as you guys recall, this week we're at Torrey Pines. This is my week where I start to get giddy. I feel good about it.
Is this where you get better at DFS?
I'm the one. I took the screaming goat. Mark's the only one over here without a win.
Good cover. Good call.
So no, and
I think you have the most second place finishes, though.
You might.
Most average.
Yes.
So but this is, to me, this is when I really get the itch for golf, and it is because I have played at the South Course. I haven't played the North Course, but Torrey Pines South Course, absolutely love it, and it's fun anytime you can sit down and watch a tournament and say, I hit that hole, I know what these guys are going through. It was a little different. I was junior in high school, I think.
Would you have played it from the same tees?
Not even close.
Okay.
Because I don't know if you saw it, so maybe they've extended it, but this is the longest course on
7,700 yards.
7,700.
And it's at sea level. I mean, it's not like they're in Colorado. And there's wind that comes off the ocean every afternoon like clockwork.
Right around 1, 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
And it makes some of those that par 4 like 12 back into the wind. If it's 12, I couldn't get there 2 drivers.
Well, remember, so again,
Into
this
the wind?
is- Again,
No,
this
no
is
chance.
high school when I went down there. I had not broke the 160-pound barrier yet, and you were caddying in my practice round, and we get to hole 15, the par 4, long par 4, kind of along, not quite along the ocean, but right before the par 3 going out to the ocean. Anyway, and I go driver hybrid to like the front corner of the green. And I go, yeah, this isn't bad actually. I was able to get here in 2. And you go, well, yeah, it's a par 4. And I was under the impression it was a par 5.
He thought it was a par 5.
No way.
So I'm sitting there
2
like,
putt for par, buddy. Let's go.
No, I mean, but you did that. So it was the World Junior.
Yep.
That you played in a couple times.
Yep.
It's a big time tournament.
Yes.
Big time. And so there's a ton of golf coaches around there all looking for their next player. And I think the 2 years you played, Joaquin Neiman, I think won it both years.
Yep.
Did
He
he
won
really?
it both. I think who's played in it too? A handful of PGA Tour guys have played in
Yeah.
it.
And
Anyway.
some, and you see everything. You see kids with entourages.
Mm.
I mean, there was a kid from Asian kid that, and then these coaches are out watching. I'll never forget the first year you played. You were playing all right to start your round, but it's a tough. You still played it at 7,200.
Yeah,
So
no,
no
it was the
one-
longest course that I've ever played, plus up to that point, plus at sea level.
Yeah.
So I was only hitting it 250
Right.
here, and then you go down there, and all of a sudden I'm carrying my driver 230. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
before you had got. And length is huge
Sure.
at this
Yep.
golf course.
Yep.
And it's one of those great designs that it just builds on itself if you get out of position.
Yeah.
And I think I visited with Hoagie about this golf course, and if you are out of position, you just need to keep it below the hole. Just have to. And that was, I think, some of his advice the second time you went.
Yeah.
Stay below the hole.
Yeah, I ended up playing okay the more times you play it. That first year was definitely an eye opener. Playing around here, you don't get quite the exposure, and then you go to a global tournament even.
Yeah.
And you see the level of talent that's out there at 15. That's eye opening.
Yep. The talent that's there. And then you think, tragically, some of those kids just burn out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They just got fried, and they might not even.
Yeah.
You think how many, if they're all looking for that college opportunity, how many actually got it?
Right.
And so, anyways, there's a lot of great stuff there. There's a lot of probably everything that's wrong at kids in sports and parents and all that.
Yeah.
You
saw that
probably
too.
witnessed some of that. But I was going to say that golf course. Back to the golf course.
Yep.
The afternoon, the greens get bumpy.
POA.
Yeah.
Right? I was going to ask you
it's
guys
a
about
Poana
that.
green.
It's a fact. It just
They said something about it buds.
it seeds out.
Yeah.
Seeds out. Okay.
So note it, like if you go out in the morning at 8 o'clock,
yeah.
and then you play around, you go back out at 2 o'clock, you'll notice like the green has raised
That's crazy.
because it buds in the afternoon.
Okay.
Little parts of it.
Yeah, not all
Yep.
of it, but parts of it.
And it can drive individual golfers batty. Like they're just doing research. Some all golfers absolutely hate putting on.
Well,
POA
and that's
greens.
where Tom's point of being below the hole. If you're
Mhm.
above the hole, it's plinko because the golf
hitting it.
or the greens are still fast.
Yeah.
And so then you got to just tap it, and now your ball's at the mercy of which group of Poana that it hits.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you get out of position off the tee, say you're in the rough,
Mm-hmm.
okay, now assuming you can get to the green, now you can't. It's more difficult to control your golf ball.
Sure.
So to that idea that you want to keep it below the hole, it's a crapshoot when you're hitting out of the rough, and let alone angles. It's a great angle golf course, and say that pin's tuck left, and it's behind a bunker left, and you miss your drive left and in the rough, forget it.
Yeah, no
Forget
chance.
it.
It is. I think to this day still my favorite golf course that I've ever played, and it's just funny looking back on it. I'd love to go back now and play it with the tools that I have now, mainly the distance. But I remember, I think it was that last year We were standing on 16, so the one right after 15.
Oh, thanks for that clarification.
The par
Oh,
four.
the
It's
16
a par
Before the
three.
17th
Yep.
hole.
Yep, just to keep you guys in order here. But
Oh, you played them in order. Okay.
so the last day before the cut, because there is a cut, you play 2 rounds and then there's a cut and then there was the last day. And the last day they actually had us playing the professional tees on 16. So it was like a 230-yard par 3, and then the green kind of sits. It's kind of a pear-shaped, pointing out towards the ocean with a bunker in front. And they had this pin kind of back left. I mean, it was like a Sunday pin with Sunday tee placements. And I had the afternoon tee time. So I'm playing this 230-yard par 3 into a 15-mile-an-hour breeze off the ocean.
Nope.
When I don't hit my driver 230
No.
yards.
Wow.
You know, and I actually witnessed so there's a big backup, so we got a chance to watch a bunch of people, and a kid in front of me actually hit driver into this green.
Really?
And I took 3-wood and just snuck it up to the front edge because I said, no way am I hitting driver on this hole right now.
Yeah, and it was your first experience too with bunkers that you literally couldn't. I bet you had every bunker shot you had those 2 days. I don't know if you ever saw the bottom of the flag stick
God,
standing
they're
in the
so
bunkers.
deep.
They're
Wow.
deep, you know, and so you talk about, well, geez, these kids, they go play, you know, they're great players from here, and then they go there and they shoot 80. What's going on? Well,
Yeah.
between the grass, between the
Distance,
and then these bunkers, I mean, they're so deep. How many times in our region are you hitting a bunker shot where you don't see the flag stick? It's the bunker's so deep that you don't see the flag stick. So there's just a lot of different going on.
It is. It was a huge eye opener for me, and like I said, I wish I could go back now. And maybe we will.
That'd be a fun
and give
trip.
it that would be
Torrey's a
great.
public course.
Yeah.
It is.
Everybody out there. It's
It
hard
is.
to get on. I mean, I think you got to get up early to get on, but stand in line.
Public.
I like it.
But it is public. So there's a lot of distractions too going on. We should mention that
Yes.
golf course.
But
a
we're
lot of
gonna do.
entertainment.
We got to do that after our break because we're running up on
Okay.
our first break here. But we'll get after it and maybe get our pop-in guest if he's around. We'll see if he stops in.
Good teaser.
All right, we'll be back after this break. This segment brought to you by Sweet Shots Academy. Join us this Saturday, the 28th of January, from 12 to 4 for Callaway Demo Day. Possible fittings as well too. Try out the new Paradigm equipment. Everything from hybrids, 3-woods, drivers, irons. We've got Jaws Raw wedges down there. Give those a try as well. All that information is available on our website, sweetshots.com. Sign up online. Reserve your spot today. Paradigms are hot this year, gents. They're 3 for 3 in tournaments won.
That's incredible.
I mean, that's impressive. Oh, sorry, I forgot the tagline. Let's get better today. As
we got
matter
a
of fact,
special guest.
there they are.
Come on in.
As we said, we were going to have our pop-in guest of the day.
This is not
come in.
staged at all. I mean,
No,
as
this
far
is-
as the timing of it, this is
this-
raw. We are podcast live. Yeah, Steve, come on in. Let's-
Pop-in. This is our
This is
pop-in
pop-in
guest.
Pop and guess.
Now we preface this in that. Go ahead, throw the headphones on, microphone. I love most of our guests are here when we start, so not everybody's as busy as Stephen
I know.
Radeye.
He's a busy man. You know, it just dawned on me. This is our 16th show. He's the 16th, right?
16th, yep.
He's the second best athlete from the Fargo North that we've had on.
Oh, you're probably right.
And we've had 2.
Probably right. Hey, thanks for having me.
Hey, I mean, hi,
Traffic
Steve.
was tough on the way over here. That's why I showed up a little late.
That dang Fargo traffic, huh?
That Fargo traffic, I tell you.
Lunchtime rush.
So Josh was on.
Josh Person.
So
Yes, you would be considered probably one of the best.
although
at that
you
school.
you did shoot the rock a lot better than me, so I got to give you.
once in a while.
Yeah.
Once in a while. You're
What-
the best athlete in your family. I want everyone.
Oh,
here we go.
I thought I heard that right. Best athlete in the family. Yep, and that includes my sister. She's a heck of an athlete.
Best athlete.
We're gonna go there. I guarantee you, I'm the best free throw shooter in this room right now.
That is
Guaranteed.
that is a fact.
Okay.
All right.
That
Well,
is
yeah,
a
when,
fact.
right.
when you don't have any pressure on you, I mean, they call it a free throw for a reason. You
I
should
mean, he
make
beat
all
a
of them.
Fargo South legend, Greg Stevens, in free throws one time.
I've
Mr.
heard that
Basketball.
story a dozen times,
Yeah.
at least.
So, I mean, we could go down
So,
this debate.
just
I mean,
my
road
la-
if you want.
Steve, am I 0-12 against you in high school?
I think. Well, you didn't play me that many times, but your school was like 0-8 against us 91 boys. Yeah, we kind of owned you guys.
Yeah,
We
you
did.
Okay.
But then you got revenge the next year against those guys.
That we did. Thank you. Okay.
Jeez.
Some hardwood talk.
Then we
Yep.
got
You're
an
on the golf.
NDSU golfing legend. Good to see you, young
Good
man.
to see you. Yeah, thanks for coming in.
Well, thanks for having me on.
welcome
I had to
the
get a
show.
DraftKings lineup in real quick, huh?
That's right.
Yes.
Now we kind of pumped this early. We didn't say who was coming on, and we said that you're very knowledgeable when it comes to sports gaming, but he doesn't have a problem. We did quantify it. Like it's not like he's got a problem or anything. He
No.
knows what
Knowledgeable.
he's doing. He's
He
very
loves to
knowledgeable.
dabble, right?
It's entertainment.
Yes.
So a lot of this we're doing for entertainment. And we at some point it's a golf podcast, but we'd love to wrap things up with fantasy golf, DraftKings talk. And today's been, Torrey Pines is where they're playing. We're just kind of wrapping up the talk. Lucas was fortunate enough; he played out there twice in the World Juniors, so he's got a little course knowledge. So when you pick a team, we're thinking we got inside track because we know we have already broken down the POA,
Yep.
the wind off the ocean.
The length.
One course is tougher than the other, right?
Yep. The South course is tougher.
South is tougher.
North course got redone, so now that's playing at 7,200 yards. So it's not as easy. I think last year the scoring average was like 68 on the north and 73 on the south.
Is Hoagie playing?
He's not taking the week off.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. So let's tell a couple quick stories.
Yep.
And then we're going to
Yeah,
get
gotta
into
pull
the
my lineup out
nuances.
here.
Yep. So we went out there a couple of years, and the first story. Let's talk about. We had a little extra time, just you and I.
Between shots, or what are you talking
No,
about?
between rounds.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure they did a few
I missed the
shots.
cut. If you guys couldn't gather,
Oh.
I missed the cut.
No, we had some time. I think it was after your practice. I don't know when it
Might
was.
have been,
Doesn't
yeah.
matter. And we're flatlanders, and we see the beach down there, and it's like, let's walk down to the beach.
So Torrey Pines being right on the ocean, if you look off the cliffs, there's a beach down there. And a couple guys from North Dakota, Minnesota, we like the sights of beaches. I mean, it's kind of nice.
Absolutely.
Go down, just
Yeah.
check out the ocean.
Check out the
There
waves.
was no motive, anything
Nothing.
other than let's just go down there. I think we're in our golf clothes.
We didn't. I don't think we could. Yeah.
So it's a cliff, but there's a trail that takes you down there, and there's a lot of distractions at Torrey. You watch on TV, there's hang gliders
Yes.
and all this and all
Yeah,
that.
That's a lot.
And we get about halfway down, and we went, "This is a long way. This is a lot longer than I thought."
This is tiring.
And we both kind of went, we're going to have to walk up what we're just walking down. And we went, we've seen the ocean. Let's
See it.
let's head
Turn
back.
around. Let's go get dinner.
So the next day, one of the marshals on the golf course.
Yep, we're playing. It was hole 4, and we're playing, and we're this guy's coming up to us. And anytime you see a marshal come up to you at a course, you're like, "Geez, what did I do now?" And so we're waiting for him. He comes over here. We might have been looking for my ball in the left rough or whatever, and he comes over and he's got binoculars around him, and he helps find a ball. Whatever. How you guys doing? Good. And he's like, "Where are you guys from?" We said North Dakota. He's like, "Oh, so." Again, beaches. And I was like, yeah. He's like, you know what that one is down there, huh? And we're like, I don't know. We tried going down yesterday. We turned around, though. We didn't want to. He said, what did you say? Like something, you're missing out. And he goes, it's the reason I carry these binoculars. We go, why is that? And he goes, well, that right there, that's a nude beach.
Oh, God.
Doesn't surprise me. I think Mark knew that.
Yeah.
No, I did not
he
know
didn't.
that. I didn't.
He hadn't closed the whole way down the trail.
Absolutely was.
That's going to be great.
Turns out it's probably a good thing I didn't bring my 15-year-old son down to the nude beach.
Yeah, that's great.
So I had some
Yeah,
explaining to do.
Fun fact, any of the flyovers there on the TV broadcast, that's a nude beach down there.
That's great.
So,
I think a segment of it must be a nude beach.
Yes.
I can't. Anyways, and then what was the other story that we were?
well, the hang glide,
the hang.
you like to go over there and just watch because God knows you never do it yourself.
Oh, I am never ever doing that. Would you jump off a cliff
No.
with just a
Maybe
kite?
at 20, not at anymore.
These folks have a kite strapped to their back.
Right.
I mean, and they're
And they just
jumping off this
run off the edge of the
Yeah.
cliff.
They run off the edge of the cliff. So it's amazing to watch. And this year, your grandfather, our dad was there, and he's a pilot. He just loved everything in the air. And so we, whether it was between rounds or after the round, we went over there and just watched these fools. And We're pretty enamored. I think you can even get lunch there or whatever.
Yeah, they
or
got a nice
soda.
little shack. And
We watched one year. We watched a guy play guitar just with his feet.
live music. The guy had no
While he was
arms.
hang
No
gliding?
arms.
That's amazing.
Not
Impressive.
Yeah, no arms. And he's playing guitar on his
That's impressive.
feet. Yeah,
it was good guitar too.
and talented.
Yeah, while hang gliding. Now that would have been
That
something.
would have been something.
That
You
would have been
strap
something.
All right.
Anyways, so we're sitting there and we're watching. It's just fantastic. This guy comes up behind us, and it's an open park. It's not like, I mean, the hang gliders, you're amongst them. And this guy's got all his gear strapped to his back. He's rolling in, he starts unpacking, and somehow it comes up, why are you guys here? Well, we're here for golf tournament. Junior here is playing in the big tournament next door. Where are you from? Well, Minnesota, North Dakota. He's like, and he's unpacking his gear, just kind of matter of fact. He goes, oh, I learned how to play golf from a pro from Minnesota in Mesa, Arizona in 1983, is what he said. And we went, my dad and I right away were in, Russ Nelson from Village Green? He goes, that's the guy I learned to play golf from.
That's crazy.
That's cool.
So you travel thousands of miles or whatever it is.
Across the country. Yeah.
You're watching crazy hang gliders, and this guy learned to play golf from Russ Nelson
That's
in
great.
the early 80s at a driving range in Mesa, Arizona. So we made that connection. It's pretty cool.
It is. That was a fun time. I love, and we talked about it before the break, but it just needing to go back because it's a beautiful spot right on the ocean, beautiful golf course, and just some great memories all around. I had playing there again. As you're dealing with high schoolers, and so we're maybe not making the best decision when it comes to on the golf course. I remember the group I was playing in my final round, and I played with a guy from the UK. And on 18 in that long par 5 straightaway, it's the only pond on the golf course on 18 in the South Course. And we're playing. They got Sunday pins, so it's down on just over the edge of the water. And he hit his drive in this bunker. And we're good buddies at this point, so we're messing around. He goes, well, I'm not making the cut. And he pulls out his 3-wood about 250 yards out from the green. And we're like, no way. You can't even get there. Plus, you got a water in front of the green. Plus, the fairway that you're hitting into is about as wide as this room. I mean, there's just no chance. I'm not making the cut. What do I care? So he takes out his 3-wood, rips this thing down there, runs it up, catches the hill, goes down about 5 feet. He ends the day with an eagle.
Yeah, perfect.
Still misses the cut. But that was exactly what he wanted to do. I thought it was just the funniest thing. Like, I mean, just characters down there.
Yeah, we talked earlier. It's the appreciation for that golf course after being there. That particular tournament, World Junior, we saw everything. We saw kids with entourages. We saw.
We saw the whole golf course too, because I don't know that it hit many fairways.
Yeah, most played golf course in this country, isn't it?
Is that right?
It's probably one of the busiest.
It's one of the busiest in the country.
I think you might be right. But you had a coach. One last quick story. I mean, you weren't playing bad to start with, and you're kind of on edge. But a coach I won't name the school. He jumped right behind you, like right as you were going to tee off, like Steve Elson. You're that coach, and you just stood there, and it was close enough where, I mean, a couple more steps back, you're going to hit this coach. It was rather rude, but they don't care about that. They're there to watch kids.
They were
play.
trying to tank, and make sure that I didn't make the cut. They didn't
There
want
you
a
go.
kid
That
from
was it.
North Dakota beating their kid, you know.
Right.
So,
But I
like that.
believe one year in last item with that in that World Junior, I believe Andy Doden finished like 4th in that tournament once as a maybe
That's
sophomore
impressive.
in high school.
you got to play well out there.
That's going to get you on the radar.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure, it was a
Wow.
top 10 finish.
Yeah, I believe it.
So with that said,
We better get into this.
yep, we have an expert here.
Right.
What?
By the way, there's probably only one person in this room heading to Arrowhead Stadium here in about 3 days.
What?
Mm.
It's not me.
Yep.
Are you
I
a
kinda
Chiefs
checked
guy?
out.
So my sister works for the Chiefs. Called on Sunday night, has 2 tickets. And
No way.
There
me and a
you
buddy,
go.
we're heading to Arrowhead for the
No
AFC
way.
Championship.
Good
Yeah.
for
Wow.
you.
That's going to be awesome.
That'll be good.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Because your team, you're one of the 2 Browns fans in all of
Clowns.
Fargo Moorhead.
Cleveland Clowns.
Oh,
Let's get that correct, okay?
That's your true passion. But
Yes.
Casey's.
I like KC a lot. It's
Yeah.
fun. That's going to be a battle.
That'd be good.
That's going to be
Both
really
those
good
games
game.
Sunday are going to be good.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
Not
we'll
to
look
get away
for
from
you.
golf, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll look for you on
Yep.
the TVs
Well,
here. Yeah.
So Chuck's got an AFC team. It's important to have an NFC and an AFC team. And there's talk Brady might go to your Raiders.
Yeah.
You're a Raider fan? Interesting.
Yeah, Brady or Rodgers. I could see Rodgers.
Maybe
I could
both of
see-
them.
I could see Rodgers going because that's the only way they're keeping Devontae Adams, I think.
So-
But I
Okay.
don't think Brady's going to go to Vegas.
Back to golf.
Back
So,
to golf.
Okay.
Rada, you got to know we're playing for more than just bragging rights. We're also the screaming goat. Whoever wins the week gets the goat.
Okay.
It
Beautiful.
tends to
Sorry.
be on this side of the table
Right.
every week.
I have the most runner-ups.
Okay.
So we've touched a lot on the South Course for Torrey. Chuck, I don't know if you have got a lot on North Course. I know Shot Tracker, they only do that on the South Course, so there's not a ton of data over there, other than it generally plays easier.
That's right.
They do a lot of the same setups as far as course condition wise. So I saw this year they went to 4 inches of rough, 4
inches
inch
rough.
thick.
Yes, it's been one of the rainiest Januaries, they said. So it's going to be thick and 4 inches.
And
Fairways are going to be key.
And having missed a lot of those fairways, and we weren't playing 4 inches of rough, that was brutal enough. I can't imagine missing this. Plus, you got these greens; they're prepped and ready to run at stimped at 13. So that means when you roll a ball off a little ramp, it runs out 13 feet.
Be quick.
That's very quick.
That's quick.
Plus, you put the Poana on the afternoon wave. I mean, this is set up to be carnage.
Now, this is going to, do you drop a podcast, post a podcast? This is going to
Yep.
post after they start the tournament because it's a Wednesday through
Wednesday start.
Saturday.
Correct.
So we really, we're going to pick a team for the week, but also to really touch on the daily plays because
Right.
that's anybody that's listening to us and wants to parlay that into a lot of winnings, they're going to probably want to do it daily.
Yep.
So dailies, you're looking at
Yep.
scores historically are lower on the North Course.
Yep.
And morning wave tee times.
Yes,
Stay away from the wind and the POA.
correct. Yep.
Yep.
So, I mean, it kind of narrows down your field, obviously, because, I mean, you go from, it is a full field event, so it's like 144 players or something like
It's
that.
Wednesday through Saturday.
Yep.
Mhm.
It is.
Just so they don't interfere with your Chiefs.
Smart.
Rada,
Yes.
you
Yep.
know.
Smart.
Smart. Don't mess with the NFL. That's smart.
So key stats, I think, other than like you just said, early tee times, I would look driving distance, strokes gains off the tee, meaning hitting fairways, and then stroke gain, long iron play, 200
Yep.
plus are the 3 metrics that I would be.
Did you factor that in, Steve?
I had to pick quick.
Okay.
But,
Well,
This
let's
is
hear
gut,
it.
Gut feeling.
yeah,
team
gut
right
feeling picks.
here. All right, I like it. We're gonna probably have a little bit of everything.
Well, you go first when we do pick. You
Yep.
go first because you're the goat holder.
Okay.
yeah, Chuck's going
That's
first.
how
And
we
we'll
do
let
it.
Steve rebuttal.
Okay.
I had key players, so this is interesting
I
because
thought he was going.
no,
Oh, okay.
I'm smarter than
Key
that,
players,
Chuck.
keep going.
It's an interesting because usually this field's pretty tough, but now with the new PGA Tour schedule and kind of how things got rerouted, it's top heavy in that there's like 5 top 10 teams or players, but then it kind of drops off. You don't really have anyone many guys inside the top 50. Where like last year, I think they had 25 of the top 50 or something like that. But John Rahm's in the field. We touched on that.
Yep.
11-6, most expensive this year. I just put a big fat duh by his name. I don't think we need to talk about too much about why he's the favorite this week. Tony Finau's in it as well. He's a bomber. Plus, he plays well here. You got Will Zalatoris, who's finally looking healthy. He's got a great iron player. And an interesting note I found with the smaller greens at Torrey, guys are feeling like that's going to mask kind of his bad putting that you were worried about last week because he's going to hit it closer and he doesn't have to worry about hitting the longer putts, struggling with that. My last player to watch, Jason Day, makes his return. He loves the Amex. He loves Torrey Pines, but he played well at the Amex too. Top 20 at the Amex.
He did.
So Jason Day
Yep.
might be back.
Mm-hmm.
So those are my key players to watch this week, I think.
Okay. I'm happy for you, but that has not influenced or changed any of my picks.
Me either.
But that's great information.
All right. Am I missing anything here, Chuck?
I would just add course history is tough. You'll see previous winners end up missing cuts. It's all over the board here. And I think it comes down to tee times when they're playing. They get the afternoon wave and it's tough conditions. So usually we go by course history. I would throw that out today. All right, here's the winning lineup. You guys ready for that?
From Chuck. To start us
Appreciate you
off.
guys playing for a
Steve?
second.
And you can change your lineup right up to the moment that you announce your lineup. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm
last
going.
minute picks sometimes are the best, but go ahead, Chuck.
Thank you. I'm going with Johnny Rahm. You may have heard of him. He's the hottest player in the world. Got to have him on your squad. Then I'm going to go with the guy who was lights out last week and took second, Thompson. Playing strong, and he hits it a long way.
What was he at?
He
What
looks
was
like
his
he's
value?
14.
What was his
Oh,
value?
now you're questioning. 7,800.
Oh, bargain.
Bargain.
That's a bargain.
Then I'm on the cheap end, Mr. Lauer. He played, I think I talked about him last week. Last fall, he was making cuts left and right, and then he took the fall off. He shook off for us last week, made the cut. He's ended up like T40. He's my savings. Then I went Mr. Canadian, Adam Hadwin.
I had him on my squad last
You
year.
He's, he's on my team this week.
Is
We got something in common.
He's loonies and toonies. And then Thomas Dietrich, I had him last week, continues to make cuts. And am I the best dressed man out there, Ricky Fowler? Gotta have Ricky.
I got him as well.
Rory
It's all right. We got
All right. All right.
Sabatini is the best dressed
He's not
golfer.
playing this week.
Yes, he is.
Oh,
He's
is he?
playing.
He's
He
probably
is.
on your squad. It's research. Well, there's a reason you don't go to 6K, guy. Anyway,
Nice team.
thanks. I feel really good.
Good squad.
Thank you.
Steve, you wanna
Yeah, well,
Divulge?
I got two of the same guys as my
You had Hadwin and
predecessor.
Fowler.
Yep, I have
Solid.
I've had one Fowler. I have also Hayden Buckley. I like picking him because he doesn't even have a pitcher yet on DraftKings. He's just got
Just
the
the
American,
He's so under the radar.
American flag. I got Bo Hostler.
Oh, yes.
Bo.
Sanjay M.
Oh,
Nice.
He's on my
Yes.
squad. So I got
Like-
3 different countries here. And finished out with Justin Thomas.
JT.
Is my squad.
That's
I like the
sneaky.
JT. I think he's
JT.
gonna have a great year.
He'll be
Saying-
low owned.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yep, that's my
JT's low
squad.
owned, you think?
Oh, yeah.
Because Rom's probably
in
so
that
high
range
on,
that- yep.
high owned.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Good call.
So, and if you look back, Bo Hostler spoke at your second time that you were at
Did he?
World Junior there. I wonder if they brought him back because if he won the World Junior. That'd be a deep
Financially, he fit into my roster perfectly.
Oh, I
Yes,
thought
so
maybe he'd
that's
done
$200
$200
left.
Financially.
He's not a bad player, though.
Thought maybe he'd won the 2013 World Junior there or
Nah,
something.
when you got to pick sometimes like this
Yep.
last second,
You just
Yeah,
got to
you
do
guys
it.
will be surprised what happens.
Bo.
Magic.
Bo knows.
Last second magic.
You know, I
right
was going
here.
to call my buddy Greg Stevens for a little advice on the way over, but I just went by myself. So,
I
It's
like
a
it.
solid team. I
It is.
don't have a problem with that team at all.
All right.
You're
Who's up?
You're up, Mark.
I'm up. Oh,
I'm in
I
last
just turned my
place.
team off. Okay, so
Anchored by Rory
Yeah, we all know
Sabatini.
He's got Rory Sabatini.
no, I did not.
He usually finds the oldest man in the field.
I did not. Okay, so I went the same thing. Rom. How do you go? How do you go wrong, Steve, with the best player in the world? You got to have him
You
on your
can't.
team. Rom.
you can't. Yeah,
Okay.
he's bound to finish 14th,
And I.
which is going to happen
Yeah,
some
it's a
tournament,
good-
right?
So then you got to find a value out there.
Yep.
So I pivoted. Something called Charlie Hoffman.
Oh, boy. Okay.
6,900. He's got history there. He's a California guy. He's got forearms the size of Popeye.
It's a little early for him, though. He always shows up during the
I know.
Phoenix Open. It's a little early still.
It is, but I needed to get my team to work. So he's on the roster. Aaron Badley.
Mhm.
He's playing good. He's a good value pick. Went with Burmeister. The guy
Again.
bombs it. He had a good week last week.
Your roster sounds like a bunch of guys I'd meet at the bar to watch March Madness.
And I circle back with our friend Scott Stallings.
Oh,
He's a
yes.
player.
Yep, another 70. So when you take that high, when you do the John Rahm, but I was also looking for my 1A and a 1A.2. I found a way to get Max Homa on my team.
Oh,
Really?
yes.
Wow.
Yep.
It's a good pick. I like him.
Yep. Homa's a cut machine.
Mm-hmm.
Plays well. He's still, I believe, still ascending to his ultimate greatness is still ahead of him. So,
He's a
yeah,
new-
I went with
new
proven
dad.
guys that have been playing well,
Yep.
and then a couple heavy hitters.
All right. I like it.
Sneaky.
I went more course history, and now after talking with Chuck, I'm not sure how I feel about it. So, well, we're going to give it a go because it can't get worse than last week. So, I started off, also got John Rahm. Not even going to talk about it. Then I went with Jason Day.
Mm-hmm.
He's my guy.
He
He's
won the
back.
World Junior there once.
Apparently everyone did, except for
Okay.
me. But he plays well here. So I think this is kind of a turning point for him to get back in there. Then I went Luke List, defending champ, and he bombs the ball. So I'm banking on him to feel comfortable again here again. And then I went, not sure who exactly it is, Will Gordon, but he's a bomber, and he's played well here. He's got 42nd and 21st in his last 2 starts. So he's made the cut here both times he's played. That's what I'm looking for. Again, with Ben Griffin, 7,300 cuts made, and he played well last week. So I think he rattled off a nice little Sunday round. Get him in the money. Mm-hmm. And then my ultimate value pick, again, because I had to go with John Rahm, I went with Michael Thompson, who I think is a sneaky pick. He plays well here again. He's been top 15 here in 4 of his last 8. So 50% of the time here, he's top 15. So
good research.
I like where he's at there. Now I had to after my embarrassing finish last week.
It's pretty poor.
Can't get much worse. So that's where we're at. Feeling pretty good.
You got a lot of cut makers. Just looking at
I'm going.
On the list here.
Course history and cut makers is kind of what.
Yep, that's
what
solid.
I'm looking at. But yeah, I'm happy Rada got into this.
Yeah, thanks for letting me join you. If I win, I'll be back next week.
Yeah, well, you gotta get your goat.
I mean, being I'm playing Shanley kids, I got a really good chance of winning.
Oh man,
wow.
So I was going to touch on, basketball is your number 1 sport in high school growing up, but you've become quite an accomplished golfer.
Well, thanks to you.
Well,
a lot of lessons from you through the years and whatnot, and playing with a lot of good players in town, and it's helped. And that's all I kind of do now is play golf, because I sure as heck ain't playing any more basketball. That ship sailed 20 years ago.
and you're an athlete. Okay, so when you're put in a position and you execute and you finish, so
especially when you got a big dinner on the line.
Yes. So I'm still running the North Dakota Open, part of that committee, North Dakota Open Foundation Committee. Steve Radai plays in the Open every year. And there is some side games that are happening where a line is set and I don't know what it doesn't matter what that line has been.
But basically, long story short, Ross Manson and Greg Stevens have bought me and a couple friends some really good dinners the last few years.
Nice.
You find a way. You're
gotta find a way.
He finds a way.
Beat the numbers, all you say.
And I mean, he's played the back nine at the Fargo Country Club better than some of the professionals have on Friday to make your
just
number.
To find a way.
That's impressive.
Yes. Some 44 36s and 37s in the day. Yes.
It's
all about the dinner.
44.
Hey, anything to beat Greg and Ross, because there's a guy I didn't beat in basketball was Greg growing up. So anything to beat those guys in golf.
And that's under tournament conditions. I mean, the golf course is firm, fast, rough is up. And I mean, I've seen you hit your first drive
in the river.
In the river, and you came back and still made your
that nerves.
Absolutely.
The first
First
it's the toughest shot of the day.
Yeah.
It is.
Then, have 3, 4, 5, 7 Coors Lights in me and look out.
You can find the zone.
Oh, yeah. Then you're just comfortable.
The other key, Steve, is the, when you're friends with the tournament director, you get the prime tee times.
Tell them that story. Yes. I'll digress. You tell them how great that story
I don't know.
is.
This year, it just so happened, I don't know, you probably had some meetings, working hard, so I need a late tee time. So the latest tee time's around 2:00-ish.
2:30.
Okay, 2:30.
In the rain.
And it gets dark at about 8. You can't see that time of year. You can't see much past 8:00, let alone a rainy, dark night. And it was getting dark about 7:15, and they're out there grinding
in the rain
in
the
a
whole time?
major rainstorm.
Did you make your number?
3 holes. I did, but we get to the pro shop to eat. Whatever. I look on the board and I notice I tee off at 7:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
And it's almost 11. I'm like, I might just sleep here. So I basically called your brother and dad, Mr. Denny's, is his new nickname, because Rise and Shine, he saw me right at 6:30.
Yeah, we had
Mr. Denny's.
Exactly. He was there for the sunny side up.
I was.
Eggs and
pancakes.
bacon.
Saturday round wasn't as good as Friday, and you guys probably know why. But it was still okay.
Yeah, so we had a short turnaround that
The
night.
shortest.
But no, your game. What is your handicap?
By 5.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a good player, and he performs when needed.
When it
so that's
matters for
impressive.
food. Yes.
Food.
Yes.
Food is on the line.
Thanks for this guy and the lessons. Has helped through the years many, many times.
Food's on the line. It's a new game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, the game is great, though. I mean, it does give you a chance to get with buddies, Keep your
great sport.
competitiveness going, because as you and a lot of guys come to golf after playing other sports.
It's the best sport in the world, I think. I really believe that. It's
Any correlations between basketball and
the competitive side, like you talked about? There's a lot. Yeah. You're not going to play basketball good when you're 50. You can still play really, really good golf for a long time. And you can always get better.
Mm-hmm. You can always get
better.
Even
when we beat you guys 8 times, it's like, you're not really going to say we can get better because we beat you.
Right.
But, yeah.
Right,
golf,
right.
as you know, you can always get better in that game.
There's always something. You can go out, shoot 64, and you always know you left a few out there.
When did you start playing?
20, 21, 22, started playing a lot.
Okay.
Yep.
So college age, just getting finished. Because did your dad play?
Yeah.
Your dad played too?
Yeah,
okay.
He liked it too. He kind of got me out there as a kid a little bit. My older brother too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your sister plays?
Sister played. Yeah. And then when I was at North, as you guys know, Halverson, Lamp, and Brantner, that was an unbelievable. I had no chance of making that team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? With that group. I mean, I'm pretty sure I think they won a state title.
They did.
Probably should have been 2, but
they won. They won the one.
I remember hanging with those guys, but couldn't play golf with them.
Yep.
And they're all
they
still
beat
really
Doden
good.
and I pretty handily up in Boise Sioux.
Yep, that was a good team. Good run North had.
Yep.
We've had South High,
Lamp.
well, other than Josh here to talk about
South
North
had a
High,
really
but
good run.
yeah, we've had a few. Matter of fact, Lucas, I think you mistakenly thought Josh went to South.
I just assumed all the good golfers from that time went to South. So.
Hopefully he didn't hear that.
Oh, he
No,
did.
I said it right
he
to his
did.
face.
Right to his face. He almost took the headset off and walked out.
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for
That's
having
good.
me on today.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad we made it work. It's good.
perfect.
We're going to keep a close eye on that team of yours because we need to get it settled. So we're going to wrap it up here. Thanks again for tuning in. We're out in California, Torrey Pines, San Diego. So best of luck to you guys out there. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.